So, something that you're going to encounter within the Horus Heresy books is something called the Mournival. What is that? What even is that? The Mournival is an organization within the Luna Wolves Legion, which, if you don't know 30k, that would be the Black Legion in 40k. The Mournival was made up of 4 individuals specifically selected to be advisors to Horus Lupercal, also known as the War Master. Now, the idea of the Mournival is that they are based off of the 4 humors. If you don't live in Britain, look it up on Wikipedia. With the 4 humors being styled after the 4 phases of the moon. Essentially, each one is to give a different perspective on ideas or plans that Horus comes up with. For example, one of the Mournival members is supposed to be the devil's advocate, i.e. pointing out the flaws or why an idea might not be a good idea. Now, on the face of it, that's how the Mournival is supposed to work. That is not what it was actually doing, however. Horus used the Mournival much like attack dogs. If someone fucked up, Horus would use the Mournival to basically, tear that person a new asshole, just so Horus could come in and act like the saving saint, pulling back on the dogs. It was all politics to make Horus look better than what he actually was. And through the first 3 books of the Horus Heresy, you see how that organization and relationship between the Mournival members began to strain. Because, as 2 of the members began to see it, Horus wasn't using them as advisors, more so as a hype squad. Now, later on, the Mournival would be dissolved when the Horus Heresy actually began. Because, well, Abaddon and Aximan would go on to kill their 2 other Mournival brothers. With little Horus Aximan trying to remake the Mournival later on down the line, but it would just be a pale imitation of what it actually was. Essentially, Aximan couldn't handle the grief of what he had done, so he tried to puppet the corpse of the Mournival idea, and it didn't work out in the end either way. The Mournival is a great insight into the psyche of Horus, as well as seeing the mindset of the Marines that either chose to stay loyal to the Imperium or side with the War Master. But the tragedy of it is that the 4 members of the Mournival thought they were more important than they actually were. Their advice was rarely regarded, if ever even listened to. And the idea that the Mournival wasn't supposed to be affected by politics within the Legion is a bunch of bullcrap. It was an advisory board and a brotherhood built on trust and hoping that Horus had the best intentions in mind. When in reality, it was nothing but a hype squad that eventually tore itself apart. Much like K-pop stans. And Book Talk, don't think I don't fucking see you. Please don't romanticize this. I'm begging you. It's a very problematic organization. Please don't.